This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast with original independent science fiction written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the Science Fiction Podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. I have part 1 of Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur on this episode. The chapter itself is about 41 minutes long, so we're divvying it up into a couple of 21-minute chunks. Alibi Jones is attempting a sort of bank shot in his quest to find the missing Dakhur artifact, the Sunrise of Hur. He's arranged a deal with a sort of broker, a guy who locates rare stuff whose name is Finder. Finder will track down the Sunrise of Hur for Alibi. In return, Alibi needs to find something for Finder. A relic created over 1 million years ago by the scientists of the ancient race now known as the Ancient Enemy. It's a device which supposedly let their more advanced minds travel by thought. The Travel Chair of Enokata. It's said to be located on the mad planet Metcalf and guarded by something called the Laughing Array. When she led the Solar Alliance, Alibi's Aunt Anita helped hide the location of the planet Metcalf after a horrible breakdown there where a whole bunch of people were killed. But she's agreed to make some older star charts available to Alibi from the archives, which should reveal the actual location of Metcalf. They're actual physical copies. So he's got to go to the colony world of Depot. Alibi is about to head to Depot to get these older charts. As we get into Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur, that's coming up on Glow in the Dark Radio. A little bit of book news to begin. I've made arrangements so that this paperback, the paperback of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur, is going to be on sale later this month. Should go on sale sometime after mid-month, like 16th, 17th. And it should be pretty much everywhere it's on sale if this works. We'll see. And it should stay on sale through the end of the month. So it'll be like $20 in the US and the EU. It'll be $30 Canadian, 30 Australian, and 18 British pounds as a sale price. It's like just about $3 off, almost $3 off. So that should happen at all retailers who carry the paperback. But again, that'll be coming up later this month, and when it happens, I will let you know that it's going on. Right now, you can get the ebook for free this month. It's going to be free for the entire month of April at select ebook outlets. I say select ebook outlets because it's really those who select to run my promotion, or elect to, I suppose. Select outlets will have the ebook for free. There's some places when you make an ebook free for a month or so, they stop carrying it for a month. I'm not going to name names, but it might disappear from a place or two during April. And if that's the case, you'll understand why, being a listener to this podcast. I'll also let you know Amazon will probably keep it at 99 cents, just because that's what they do. They don't play nice on promotions unless you give them exclusivity, and I refuse to do that. So you can find my ebook in a whole bunch of other places, and some of those places, the ebook of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur will be free. So if you'd like to read along or even read ahead, you get the free ebook, and the paperback will soon be on sale, so that's coming up later this month. Once again, I want to thank my patrons who help keep Glow in the Dark Radio going. I would love to have you as a patron. If you can do $2, $5, or $10 a month in support, it's of course totally voluntary and optional, and if you'd like to do so, head to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio or follow the links to Patreon from my pages from glowinthedarkradio.com or mikeluoma.com. And just find out more there or sign up and make a pledge, and be glad to have you along as a supporting member of the podcast. And once again, a big thank you to those of you who do, because I've got a handful and you guys keep me going. We're going to keep on going. We've got our first part of Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur on the way next on Glow in the Dark Radio.
The Flash Pulp Podcast. 3 to 10 minutes of fiction brought to you thrice weekly. Now it's 3 apocalypses in one.
Yeah!
Suffering from tough, stuck-on humans? Well, 20 hellish hours of suffocation in the all-encompassing web of Karwik the Spider God will get them right out. Too many brains lying around? The ravenous mouths surrounding zombie-fighting Ruby will quickly clean those up. Nosy neighbors, infect them with the murder plague, and watch as they dissolve into paranoid maniacs bent on the preemptive assassination of their friends and family. Why stop at one end of the world when you can have all three? You can find them all at flashpulp.com or search for them on iTunes.
Now here's part 1 of Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur on Glow in the Dark Radio. The colony known as Depot rivals Cat's Eye for longevity. It's another of humanity's oldest homes among the stars. Both settlements began as bases for the project. Both are built on the remnants of former Domo outposts. Cat's Eye is the larger of the two. Though Depot is smaller in scale, it's still almost as busy as the larger colony. Flying into the main port on the planet Depot requires a filed and approved flight plan, as well as the acceptance of a scheduled transspace jump time to avoid collisions and near misses. Alibi begins the scheduling process over his wand as he makes his way to the Cat's Eye port and his cruiser, calling ahead to the safe garrison on Depot for a transspace time. He smiles as he enters his ship's landing bay and looks up at the gleaming side of his cruiser. Been a while since he's been on board his own ship. Riding around on other folks' ships, with other people doing the flying, makes him itch to get behind the controls. He runs through the ship's external checklist, scanning the cruiser's exterior for any signs of damage or decay. Then he climbs on board to ready the craft for the hop over to Depot. He turns on the power plant and the ship's engines as he waits for his scheduling information to come back. Don't really know Depot all that well. Hopefully I'll be able to get in and out of there quickly. Seems Depot is a busy place today. Alibi is glad he started the process before arriving at his ship. As it is, he's still going to have to wait another 4 hours for his allotted transspace jump time. Seems he didn't have some sort of special clearance necessary to move up the queue. He keeps his ship's power plant humming and fires up the ship's other systems while he waits. His aunt sends the instructions and contact information to get the star charts while he sits in the landing bay on Cat's Eye. Strange. My safe mediation core status didn't help me move up in Depot's queue. And what was that clearance? Never heard of that before. Some new security thing? Alibi dozes off as he sits and waits on the bridge of his ship. The dream comes again. He stands, glass in hand. My name is Alibi Jones. He sees it all again. The Dakhur in their robes, Kit and Trish on their day of joining, Trish in white and green with the Sunrise of Hur, the beautiful golden tiara with the blood-red gem in its center, perched upon her furry brow. Somehow he looks at it longer now. The object of his quest? What quest? He hears the shots begin. Thub, 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 beep, 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 beep. Alibi jolts awake. The sound of rubber bullets firing in the dream becomes the beeping of his ship's wake-up alarm. Damn, he says to himself. He shakes his head, trying to somehow magically erase the dream from his mind. It doesn't work. He can't forget. But getting the engines up to full power, lifting off, and flying his cruiser up and out of Cat's Eye's atmosphere requires more attention, and so provides some welcome distraction. Not like I haven't done this 1,000 times. Flying into depot is a bit more unusual. The transspace jump goes without a hitch, but once he brings his cruiser into orbit around depot, Alibi finds he's again stuck waiting. This time it's for permission to land in the main port on depot.
I'm sorry, Mediator Jones. We have heavy traffic delays today.
The Safe Garrison Transportation Office informs him.
Do you have special clearance?
Special clearance? Alibi asks. Again?
Guess you don't, eh? Sorry. Gonna be a couple of hours before we can get you down and into a berth here.
What's this special clearance you guys keep talking about? Alibi probes over the comm.
If you've gotta ask, it probably means you shouldn't have it.
The Transcom officer cracks, breaking safe comm discipline.
Hold on. We'll get you down soon.
Someone needs an attitude adjustment. Could help with that if I could actually get the chance to land down there. What gives? What the hell?
You're in at 15:35 local time.
The Transcom officer tells him, once again sounding official.
Calibrate your time with the garrison local, and you'll be ready to go.
Then the Transcom officer breaks discipline again.
You want that special clearance?
He asks Alibi in a near whisper.
You've got to go to the top. Talk to Killer, or Sing. That's all I can tell you. Depot safe, Transcom out.
The comm goes dark. Alibi is still in the dark himself. Gotta go to the top. Keeler? Gotta be Safe Garrison Commander, Keeler. I remember seeing a Sing listed in the safe hierarchy here, too. Alibi looks up the garrison staff's roster. Joy Kumar Singh is second in command, Secretary Commander to Keeler. That's about as top as you can get, I guess. What are they up to? Making money. Alibi nods as Yangdong Li, another safe cruiser pilot, tells him about the graft and shakedowns that line the pockets of the garrison command staff on depot. Special clearance apparently comes at a price. Alibi and Li went to school together years ago on Ceres Central. After landing on depot and securing his ship, Alibi discovered Li's cruiser was berthed nearby, 2 bays over. Happy to find a familiar face, Alibi stopped by the bay to say hello to his old schoolmate, and to see if he could discover what was going on with depot's special clearances. He found Li readying his ship for departure. The two of them have been catching up, hanging out, standing in the landing bay. Li looks around warily as he tells Alibi more of the sordid truth. The regular berthing fees and such weren't generating enough personal income for the safe boys and girls here on depot, if you know what I mean. You've got to make an appointment. Sit down with them in their office, Li says. They shield the room and everything, so it's off the record. They've got one of those old field-generating gizmos. Passing through it tingles. Makes your hair stand up a little. Your skin feels prickly like bugs are crawling all over you for a second or something, you know? He scratches his arms as he remembers. This whole thing makes my skin crawl, Alibi says. You gotta pay to play here on depot, Li says. It's just the way it is, you know? They lay it all out. 3 levels of clearances you can buy. Which will it be? 3 levels? Alibi can't believe what he's hearing. Well, at least they give you a choice, huh? Li says. Some choice. You don't have to pay, Li says, shrugging. But then, you have to wait. What about you? Alibi asks, curious. I don't wait, Li says, uncomfortable answering. That's all I'm going to say about that, you know? Gotcha, Alibi says. You going to make an appointment? Li asks him. I already have one with them, Alibi informs his friend. Li looks surprised. It's for something else, Alibi tells him. Some old star charts. My aunt is having them released to me. Lee shakes his head. What? Alibi asks. That's gonna cost you for sure, he tells Alibi. Hope you brought some ready cash. You're kidding. I hope he's kidding. Like I told you, Alibi, Lee says. Gotta pay to play on Depot. He's not kidding. Sheesh, nice place, Alibi says. How long has this been going on? I don't know, year or two, Lee estimates. A while now. And you just pay. Lee frowns at him. Sorry. Alibi apologizes immediately. Don't answer, sorry. Cost of doing business, Alibi, Lee says, answering anyway. Lee changes the subject. Whoever thought in high school we'd be safe space jocks jumping from planet to planet? We did, Alibi deadpans. Oh yeah, Lee mock remembers. You ever see anybody from school? Not lately, Alibi admits. Me neither, Lee says. I hear about some of our classmates. Bump into some people now and then, but everybody's kind of spread out. I didn't really stay in touch with anyone, Alibi says with a chuckle. I was one of those weird kids that had mostly grown-ups for friends. You still managed to hook up with some cute girls, Alibi. What was that one we both tried to get with? Shira? She was hot. She was trouble, Alibi says. Ran into her a couple years ago. She was all mixed up in a nasty con job. I thought she was nice, Lee says, sounding defensive. Beep, 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 beep. Alibi's wand alarm is going off. He looks at the screen. His appointment. The alarm gives him 5 minutes to get to Keeler's office. I gotta go, he apologizes to Lee. Good to see you, Lee. Thanks for filling me in on how things work here on Depot, too. Nice to know what's going on before I meet with Commander Keeler. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me, Lee says. Good luck, Alibi. He turns and walks back to his ship. Alibi leaves the landing bay and makes his way to Depot's safe garrison to keep his appointment. On his way to meeting Keeler, Alibi makes a call on his wand to ask a certain wealthy someone about a possible line of instant credit.
How much do you need?
Wentworth asks over the wand after Alibi poses the question. I don't know, Alibi admits. I just know the commander's on the take and he's going to ask for money. I don't know how much it'll be, Alibi explains, whispering into the wand as he walks through the garrison offices. Is there some way you can back me up on the fly?
Do you think I just casually throw my money around?
Wentworth asks. Well, yeah, Alibi cracks. Don't you? There is silence for a moment. Then Alibi hears the old man laugh.
The honesty of youth, or something like that. I'm sending you a secure link to an account that should prove sufficient,
Wentworth tells him.
Good luck, Alibi Jones.
Richard Wentworth hangs up the comm. I don't casually throw money around, Wentworth says out loud into the gloom of his office, though the call is over. Mr. Wentworth, a voice interrupts. You have another call. This one is from Mr. Finder.
Put him through.
Finder appears on the comm link as a disembodied head and shoulders floating above Wentworth's desktop. Finder's tropical shirt is so bright it almost hurts Wentworth's eyes. Finder also looks a good deal more stressed than his usual laid-back self.
Mr. Finder, hello. What can I do for you?
Hey, Wentworth.
Finder says.
You hear anything from that kid?
Mr. Finder, I told you if I did, that I would call you, did I not?
Yeah, you did. It's just, well, that guy I found for you, who can do your procedure thing you want, he's kind of pressuring me for results. Says it's about time I found him what he wants. He's not a nice man,
Finder says with emphasis.
Neither am I, Mr. Finder,
Wentworth says.
Do not forget that.
I don't, Wentworth. Believe me, I don't. But this other client is even scarier than you. There's something something not right about him. I kind of wish I never found the guy, but he assures me he can do the procedure you want. Once, that is, I deliver that thing he wants me to find for him. But it's going to be soon.
Yes, but haven't I fulfilled my part of our deal, Mr. Finder? Didn't I get you Alibi Jones?
That's only part of the deal, Wentworth, and you know it. Jones has to find that thing for my other client. And he already knew that you knew Alibi Jones. He was the one who said it had to be Jones who found that thing.
Yes, But I knew Jones was looking for the Dakhur's bauble, Wentworth points out. I knew how to motivate him. It was easy enough to track the tiara down through my contacts. You didn't find the Sunrise of Hur. I've completed at least 2/3 of our agreement, Mr. Finder.
Fine,
Finder says.
Why does it have to be Alibi Jones who finds this thing for your client?
Wentworth asks.
You keep asking me that.
Finder says.
Why won't you answer?
Wentworth asks.
I told you. I don't know. He, my other client, just said it had to be Jones.
But why?
Finder sighs.
Look, Wentworth, I
have heard something from Jones. If you want the latest report, tell me why it had to be him. Tell me now, Wentworth demands. Now, Mr. Finder.
The only thing I know that I haven't told you is this. It had to be the Jones kid, according to my client, because he's special somehow. Anyone else who tried to land on the planet where that thing is, where it's supposed to be located, get killed. But the Jones kid, for some reason, has at least a chance of surviving whatever deadly old Eldred defense system is guarding that thing, according to my client.
Great,
Wentworth says, glaring at Finder through the comm.
So we may be sending Jones to his death?
Hope not,
Finder says.
I want him alive so he can bring the thing back. That gets us all what we want. My client gets his thing, you get your procedure, and the Jones kid gets the jewelry. And I get all you fuckers off my back.
You did not appropriately communicate the level of danger involved in this find, Mr. Finder,
Wentworth says with dark overtones.
Well, the way you were talking about the kid, how you knew his father, I wasn't sure you'd agree to use him.
Finder admits.
But hey, we all gotta die sometime, right?
Not if you've actually found me my procedure, Mr. Finder,
Wentworth says.
Touché.
Finder agrees. He scratches his head.
So what's up with the kid?
He thinks he's found the planet where your thing is located. I've provided him with some funds for bribing some local officials on Depot who may be poised to get in our way.
Depot, huh?
Finder scrunches up his nose like he's smelled something foul.
You know what I've found? They're pretty crooked there on Depot. How much did you give them?
I usually wouldn't respect that brazen a question with an answer,
Wentworth says.
But this time I will. As much as he needs.
You're really serious about all this, aren't you, Wentworth?
Yes, I am, he says. It's a matter of life and death.
Yeah, should have told you more about the danger thing there. Sorry.
Finder admits.
That wouldn't have been a problem for you, though, would it?
Wentworth doesn't answer the question.
Apology accepted, Mr. Finder.
Really? An apology? Alibi asks. Commander Keeler leans across the desk, while his second-in-command Singh stands aloof behind him. Oh, yes, really, Keeler says, nearly mocking Alibi's tone. You really should apologize. You've insulted us. A figure that low. Singh leans forward and slides a piece of paper dramatically across the desk. With a wave of his hand, he indicates that Alibi should lift the paper to read the figure on the other side. Alibi does. It is an enormous sum. Alibi gulps. That is more in line with our thinking, Keeler says. Is that a problem? Well, it's a much higher figure than I expected, Alibi tells the garrison commander. Because I shouldn't have to pay anything. We have certain, special charges here on Depot, for special services especially, and releasing these special antique star charts to you is a very special thing indeed, Keeler says, grinning in self-amusement at his overuse of the term special. Special charges? Alibi asks. But if you do something all the time, then it really isn't special, is it? He tries to sound innocent, but scorn leaks through. Be careful, Mediator Jones, Singh pipes up from behind Keeler.
Alibi sighs. I have to be careful if I want to get the charts from these guys. Sorry, Alibi says. He pauses, thinking. Okay, he says. Both Singh and Keeler fight to contain their surprise. Okay, Keeler asks. Yeah, I'll pay it. Just give me the charts, Alibi says. It's not that simple, I'm afraid. Oh, really? Yes. Please, come with us. Keeler and Singh lead Alibi from the secure office to another building on the base, the Garrison Bank. Once inside, the three of them are led by a uniformed security officer back into a special vault where the most valuable archival items of the depot colony are safely locked away. Keeler leads Alibi to a drawer set among a wall of hundreds of locked drawers, each with its own sensory pad and touchscreen. You need to press your palm against the sensory pad while you key in our security code on the screen, Keeler tells him. Alibi's eyes grow wide, but he tries to hide his realization. They couldn't have opened this drawer without me. What a scam. Regaining his composure, Alibi looks at the other men with him in the vault. Keeler and Singh look at him almost hungrily. The security officer hangs back, observing the three of them with mostly disinterest. I don't like the look on their faces. Too greedy for this. Too hungry. Alibi steps back from the wall of drawers. He turns to Keeler and Singh. Wait for me outside, he tells them. What? Keeler asks, taken aback by the demand. You want the money? Your special charge? Alibi asks the two men. Then you'll wait outside. I don't trust you two in here. But you need our security code, Keeler protests. Alibi looks down at his wand. No, I don't, he tells the man. Got it right here. Thank you, Aunt Anita. Keeler and Singh look back and forth at each other. Singh, Keeler says to the other man, go out and call up our account on a secure screen. I will stand in the doorway to this vault where I can see both you and Mediator Jones. Jones, you will send the special charge to the account number I provide. When Singh lets me know it is in our account, I'll signal you. You may then take the charts and go. Singh? Keeler motions for Singh to precede him out of the vault. He gives Alibi their account number for the cash transfer, and then walks to the doorway of the vault. Is this far enough away for you, Mediator Jones? Keeler asks, mocking him. Not really. Could you move to another planet, maybe? Yes, sir, Alibi says, with a sarcasm of his own. These fucks give the safe uniform a bad name. He looks back at the drawer, and then over at the security officer. Alibi nods in the direction of the door with his head. I have to stay with you in the vault, sir, the officer says to Alibi. Safe bank rules. Alibi looks at the man intently, trying to see if he's really a neutral party. Sir? The officer asks, after Alibi stares at him for a moment, trying to get a read on the man. Alibi is pretty sure he knows what the man is thinking. He thinks I'm a paranoid nut. Strangely enough, that's a good sign. He's not confused and thinking some plan has gone wrong. Or he's a really good actor. Okay, stay in here if you have to, Alibi says. But over here, against the wall, facing out where I can see you. That'll reinforce his assessment. Sure, bud. Whatever you say. The officer chuckles. He moves over against the wall. Alibi uses his wand and the account number he's been given to trigger the enormous cash transfer demanded by the commander. Then he turns to the drawer, puts his palm to the pad, and punches in the code provided. The drawer pops open with a quiet whoosh of air as the seal is broken.
That was part 1 of Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur on Glow in the Dark Radio. Well, it turns out Depot is a pretty expensive place, huh? Keeler and Singh and company are milking the place for all it's worth. Still, Alibi has gotten this far, with the help of Richard Wentworth, of course, though Richard Wentworth, it turns out, is playing Alibi Jones. We got a little insight into that this chapter, too. Well, we'll see if the star charts are actually in the drawer as Alibi checks out the contents in part 2 of Chapter 8. And we'll see if Alibi can get off Depot with the charts in hand, if he does get his hands on them, on our next episode. Once again, you can get the ebook of this book, Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur, the novel we're listening to, as part of the Omnibus. You can get this book for free as an ebook at select retailers. Just look for Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Hur and look for the free ones. It's going to be 99 cents some places, but other places should be free. And the paperback copy is going to be on sale later this month, which I will let you know about as soon as it's appearing as a lower priced paperback. That is all for this week. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow in the Dark Radio. Glow in the Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2025 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License, CC by NCND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at Incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.